me to talk for 30 minutes.
Bye. 45.
Use the
I'm
mic.
trying to make it short. When Ahmed and Michelle approached Maria and me for a surprise wedding, we held our tongue and not burst out saying, "What a stupid idea!" we thought to ourselves that we're not going to get any gifts. Also, your friends and relatives will probably blame you for, after all the pictures come out, for being underdressed. But you convinced me by telling me that seeing the reaction from the invited guests would be priceless. We gradually warm up to that idea. And we still think the priceless part are the gifts. I guess nowadays the younger generation is more being sentimental than being materialistic. I guess people today, the younger generation, don't mind holding hands and singing Kumbaya without a roof. The surprise wedding part was only the beginning. Ahmed and Michelle asked me to make a speech. This one. I was taken back. I was concerned. Being in the military for a couple years, I know how to order people. I know how to yell at soldiers. But making a wedding speech would require some delicate and politically correct dialogue, which is hard to do. On top of that, it's being held right after Thanksgiving. So I figured most of the relatives will come down, and there's going to be a big Thanksgiving, so more stress. Thank you, Ahmed and Michelle. Now switching to the serious side, we did have a big Thanksgiving dinner. In fact, like Pam and Surrender said, we had actually 5 families together during Thanksgiving. 28 people came to our place, and we had a great time.
And we're not leaving.
Of course, we had Surrender, Pam, Connie, and Manji from the Chase family. And we also have the Shin family, my wife's family. We have San coming all the way from Korea. All right. From Texas and California. Besides Sang traveling afar, my brothers came, Ken and Fran, came down from New York. Kathy came down from New Jersey. My sister Jimmy, Eileen and Jimmy Zhang came down from New York. In addition, we have other friends that came down from New York. We have Ted and Angie, close friends. We also have Molly and Stephanie coming down from New Jersey. We try to convince them not to leave tonight. Try to stay another day. Last but not least, my oldest son Brian and friend another Michelle. And some of you also travel afar. Some came from the local area, but nonetheless, you committed your time to celebrate Ahmed and Michelle's wedding. We thank you all for that. I was told I'm supposed to give you advice on on how to make your marriage successful. I started to write a list, but I realized you're already doing all this. So there's not much I can do to give you advice on. Okay, but I do want to give everyone a history or review the history to make it a little bit memorable. If it's okay, I can tell what year you were born. Michelle, Army first and Michelle. 1984. Who knows some of the famous events that took place in 1984?
Leap year!
He was born.
Yes,
This guy delivered me, man.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Actually, I can do this, so I'm cheating. There were two famous quotes that came out from 1984, some commercial. One's Wendy. Who knows what that was? Okay. The other one, Terminator. And the most popular Christmas gift of that year was Cabbage Patch Kids. Dodge introduced what type of vehicle that year? Minivan. The Summer Olympic was held in what state that year? And Ronald Reagan said a funny thing on the radio. Anybody remember that one? He said, "My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I have signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes." Needless to say, he got in a lot of trouble. And the most popular song for that year, 84, by Prince. When Dove, I don't know what that song is. And the second most popular song, Tina Turner. Yes, you got it. Okay, one more thing from 84, then I hit 85. Super Bowl champ, 84.
Dallas Cowboys.
Close. Los Angeles Raiders. They beat Redskins that year. Okay, jumping to 85. What key events was 85?
To Michelle now.
So
they turned down the lights.
The world was reported for the unfortunate in Africa. And Mikhail Gorbachev became the General Secretary of the Soviet Communist Party, which eventually led to the downfall of the Soviet Union. Important thing. Now, even more important, Coca-Cola did something that year that was stupid. It was the most popular film in 1985. That was number 2. Back to the Future. Microsoft released its first version of Windows 1.0. And lastly, Super Bowl champs that year. San Francisco 49ers. Now, you guys met 6 years ago, 2008. What's some key events that's memorable for you during that year? Olympic was held 2008. Where? Beijing. Who won the most gold that year? China. Individual athlete.
Phelps.
Yes. Okay. And who was elected president? Okay. In closing, during 6 years, 6 years is a long time for dating. Seeing you two closer each year was a good sign. And during the planning of your wedding, the bantering between you two remind me of a quote that I read a long time ago. But I keep seeing that quote every so often. That quote is, "You You come to love not by finding the perfect person, but by seeing an imperfect person perfectly. So none of us are perfect, but you still see each other perfect. So that's outstanding. Knowing my daughter well enough, when she says, "Let me try to understand you," Ahmed, it's time to back off. Here's another advice for you now. No man is truly married until he understands every word his wife is not saying. Don't worry, it takes a few years to get to that. In fact, I'm still getting a C. And lastly, from Maria and me, life is a shipwreck. But don't forget to sing in the lifeboat.